We watched.
Bang.
I enjoyed the Showtime presentation. I enjoyed the way they did some behind-the-scenes stuff. I enjoyed the way they actually took Jake Paul serious as a boxer, it felt like. And obviously, he's very young in his boxing career, and the first couple, we have called into question the production and the people that are on microphones for the way they're talking about the person that is feeding them at that moment. The reason why they are having a job in speaking at that moment, I'm not saying in general, but in that night, normally it was because of a Paul brother and the way these people were speaking as if they had to put on for the combat community, this is a joke, this is bad for boxing, but I will accept a paycheck while being here to talk about it. It was a little bit of a hypocritical. I think Showtime this time, completely different. I think the show was very much like, hey, Jake Paul was a Disney guy, then he was a YouTuber, and then he found boxing, and now they treated it as if it was a much different chapter of his life, as opposed to just being the same part of it. I appreciated that. Tyron Woodley, I didn't know much about him before this weekend. I love that man. I love Mama Woodley as well. I'm a big fan of hers. I like that her and Jake's mom are hugging it out.
Yeah.
And then I like the fight lineup as well. That Montana Love fight was electrifying. Serrano, awesome. I think cutting to Dave and Big Cat, who were going through their struggles picking fights because they didn't know anybody else. Like, I thought it was just a great night. I thought it was a great night. Ariel Helwani, kind of a douche, but friend of the show.
Sure.
He had a hell of a weekend. I mean, the way they handled it. I just think job well done by everybody over there at Showtime for an incredible event. 16,000 plus at Rocket Mortgage. I don't think they should have had the hard cam on the stage.
No.
I think they should have had the hard cam on the crowd because the crowd was so big. It kind of looked small there at the beginning. And then once they zoomed out and showed the crowd, it was amazing. I absolutely loved everything about it. Yesterday while watching golf, I thought to myself, I got to start golfing more so I can become a professional golfer. This looks cool. And then while I was watching this, it was like, I got to start virtual reality boxing more because this looks cool. So as I was in my COVID cave, I can't thank the people at Showtime enough for an incredible show. And there was a couple times while the commentators, Mauro Ronaldo is an absolute rock star, by the way. I mean,
legend.
The amount of emotion he has spilled through microphones while calling events, whether it's mixed martial arts, professional wrestling, boxing, big moments, whatever the case, Mauro Ronaldo is always going to show up. There was somebody with him who I'm sure is high respected in the boxing world, but as that doofus was stumbling through about 5 to 6 sentences a couple different times, I thought to myself, they got microphones literally right now on Ariel Helwani, Dave Portnoy, and Big Cat. 3 of the best talkers on earth. Why is this doofus speaking? I guess I should not be taking shots at that guy. He's probably a great guy. He just seemed to get lost in numerous times. People think I'm a doofus as well. I just thought, why not just put... I thought they were going to be on the call the whole night, by the way.
So
I
did
thought it was rough and rowdy.
So did I.
Yep.
I was very surprised, actually, you know, after I saw the clips and everything. I was like, oh, okay, so that is all that they're using them for.
Yeah, and by the way, I appreciate that. I laughed my ass off.
Yeah.
Watching them, you know, have to explain to people who don't know who they are, basically. Big Cat, I am a stupid person. Okay? Like, while wearing a suit on Showtime is maybe one of my favorite moments I've ever seen and captured and everything like that. But I thought I thought this was rough and rowdy. I thought they were on the call with Mauro Ronaldo. I was super pumped, but I enjoyed the whole thing. Congrats to Jake Paul. A lot of people, obviously, it was trending for like 10 hours. Rigged was trending or whatever. But hell of a fight by these two, and I'm so pumped for the event because we needed it. NFL football is not for 10 more days. You know, I think it was a beautiful Sunday night over there.
Yeah, and it seems like there will be a rematch. They said after the fight it was a little back and forth. Helwani right in the middle. Jake Paul said, if you get the I love Jake Paul tattoo on your leg, we will have a rematch. He said bet. They shook on it. I don't know if he has the tattoo now. Jake Paul said they had the artist in the arena ready to go, so possibly already has the tattoo on his leg, but it was awesome. And finally, you got to really see Jake Paul fight. I feel like none of his fights have really gone that far, and that was kind of the boxing community's thing was, oh, well, he's never even boxed more than 3 rounds and went the full 8. He looked good in all of them. He got rocked once in the 4th round, but he came back and he performed. It was awesome to see. I think there's no way anybody can't respect him now as a boxer, especially Woodley. And Helwani did say, you got to think, is Tyron Woodley's legacy on the line here in the last round? So hopefully there is that rematch and maybe a knockout, some fireworks, because me, and I assume a lot of others, were just hoping for one of the two to get dropped. But it went the distance. It was a good fight.
Well, that's what boxing is. You're watching for somebody to get dropped.
Yeah, just like UFC.
So don't feel bad at all. That's what we're all watching for, is to see that. That Montana Love fight with the Russian, we talked about it a couple of times. It was fucking awesome boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was, especially because the Montana Love story, he's 16 months in jail for drugs and grand theft, and then he comes out on the other side, flashing, boxing, says, hey, it's my time, strap me the fuck up. He said, I like that, if that's how we turn. Is that how boxing is always termed, like, give me a championship opportunity? Because I love it. Like, hey, strap me the fuck up is what somebody says when they want to become champ. I love that. I absolutely love that. I just thought it wasn't a sideshow.
No.
There was good boxing. There was great entertainment. Now, you said that Jake Paul looked good. There was a couple middle rounds there where he looked like he was out of it a little bit. But then he seemed to regain his composure and catch his second wind. I think Woodley should be fighting Logan, not Jake again. I think Jake's way too early in his process to be doing rematches. I think there has to be somebody else. But I don't know the business as well as they do. I just appreciate both of them going out there and swinging at each other for a bit.
Well, Connor just mentioned that he thinks a lot of people now have to respect it. Do you think that is the case? Do you think people are coming around on him, or do you think they still, no matter what he does, unless he, wins a title or something like that, people are always just going to be like, oh, he's just the sideshow clown who comes in and sells a bunch of tickets and runs his mouth? Do you think people actually respect his boxing talent and acumen now?
I mean, I think that's what boxing is, right? And I was thinking of this, I don't want to say sideshow clown as boxing, but moving tickets and moving pay-per-view. I like the fact that they treated Jake as a boxer this time.
Right.
Yeah.
They treated him as a boxer in the coverage. The narrative was that he was a boxer, as opposed to this is celebrity boxing. And then as I was in my COVID class, I started thinking to myself even more, is it all boxing, just celebrity boxing? Because the bigger your celebrity, the bigger the event.
Yeah.
And Floyd Mayweather, is he not a celebrity? Tyson Fury, is he not a celebrity? Deontay Wilder, is he not a celebrity? I don't understand the fact that he is popular as that why that is the reason why everybody wants him out of boxing, because I thought that was the purpose of boxing. And I think Showtime presented it in a way that was much more professional than it had been in the past, even including what Showtime had done in the past with the Paul brothers. So I loved it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Now, I wasn't allowed to leave my house, so I was definitely going to watch that regardless.
Sure.
But I wanted to be there. It seemed electric in there. I mean, it seemed absolutely electric in Rocket Mortgage. Job well done by absolutely everybody.